Happy Monday, guys. Ready? Here we go. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're dancing out. A little bit later start today, but I'm going to explain why. Let's get into it. How's everybody doing today? Appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. Welcome to the Start Down. If you don't know me, my name is Mike Ficara. Happy to be here. Appreciate you guys are tuning in. If you're here live, let me know you're live. Say hey. And if you're on the replay, definitely hashtag that replay so that I know you guys are watching. And if you get value, make sure you share that out. Guys, I am in Dallas, Texas. Was here for Business Finishing School this weekend, which I'm going to talk a little bit about what my takeaways were from the event. Had some early morning meetings this morning, so I've been running around on a little bit of a break and then going into another wave of afternoon meetings. So super excited for this event. Always excited to be in Dallas because there's so much opportunity here. And then I'm flying out tonight. We'll be in South Florida for a day, and then I'm heading back to Vegas to go see the birthday boy today. Happy birthday to Jose Flores. Big shout out to Jose. It's his birthday today, and we'll be at an event with Jose that he's speaking out in Las Vegas, and then wrapping out the week. So what I wanted to talk about today, what I really wanted to dive into and get into is what I got out of this conference. You know, I've been talking a lot of my lives, if you've been following me, on why I started attending conferences more, the idea of learning. I think there's a lot to learn, and the idea of networking, which I'm going to talk about both of those, which this is just an absolutely amazing event for that. But the biggest thing I always like to do is look at the takeaways, and I always write down what takeaways I got from an event when I went to it. And first off, I want to talk about Business Finishing School as a conference. The thing I love about it is it's not as bougie as it sounds. It's actually an amazing, fun, engaging conference put on by Matt Monero and Rick Sapio. Just a great conference with so much to learn. The basis of it is, if you saw my post yesterday, the idea of core values in your business, establishing core values, looking at different things, putting core values together, not only your business, but also your personal life, and how are you looking at the people you're going to work with and network and grow in that area. So I love the foundations that it's built on. And if that's not good enough, they bring in some absolutely amazing speakers. I mean, Tim Story, Rand Stagen, Matt Monero, and Rick Sapio do a ton of teaching as well. They had Elena Cardone there. Ivan Meisner, who's the founder of BNI. I mean, just all these amazing people. And not only are they giving great talks and teaching you amazing things, but then at the end of it, they actually hang out in the back of the room and you have an opportunity to go talk to them. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I love this conference. It's actually one of my favorite conferences. It's only the second one I went to, but it's been one of my favorite that I continually try to make sure I attend, even though it's a little difficult because it falls on my kids' weekends, which we'll talk about core values in a little bit that has to do with that. But what I wrote down, when I wrote down my takeaways, and I do this for every conference I go to, I type notes in my computer and then I write down what my takeaways were. And for this one, everyone started with successful people. And I don't know whether that's a mindset thing of where I'm at, and I just thought it was funny, but everything I wrote, and I didn't realize until I was done, I started, each one with successful people use blank, or successful people do blank. And I've never done that before. I looked at some other conference notes, I always put manage your time better, do this or do that, but I was just very concise this time, which means either there was a message there that I guess I got out of that, or I've gotten much better at just seeing what I want to see. And I think success is something I'm really driving for this year, and looking at what that is. Not just financial, which is important, but in all aspects of my life. So here are the four biggest takeaways that I got. The first one is, and I heard this from a lot of speakers, is successful people use data. And what I mean by that is that they use data it's not just mathematical equations and balance sheets and business plans and projections. Tim Story talked about this a lot. When an article came out about the 10 most successful people, he got his team together and they looked at the data and the trends of what everyone was doing. So data in multiple forms. Data in the form of financials is very important. Data in the form of what's working and not working in your business, and data on what other people are doing, your competitors, people that you want to be like, people that you look up to. Just all this different data. One of the things that was talked about was networking. By Dr. Meisner, and he said, about networking not just up, but people who network, 360, up, down, left, right, all over, tend to, grow a bigger network. So these were all things data. All these great speakers, all these millionaires and billionaires that spoke on stage speaking about data, and I thought that was really a neat concept that I sort of walked away with. The other thing is that they keep reading and learning. Successful people keep reading and learning. I can't tell you how many of the speakers out there talk about the book that they just read, or the article that they just read, or the blog that they just read, from all sorts of different people in all sorts of different areas. So, I think a lot of times we look like, hey, if I take this one course, or if I just read this one book, I'll be good to go. But, these people that spoke that were successful were reading so many different books, taking different courses, they were enrolled in different things. Finishing School has a great online program, learning program that you can do as well, which even a lot of the speakers, were involved with, and said if they weren't, they were going to get involved with. So, this idea of continually learning, continually growing. And guys, listen, none of these are groundbreaking new concepts. I'm not saying that I've unlocked the key to something here. It's just, these are my takeaways. This is what I saw that kind of resonated with me. The third thing is successful people worked and hung out with like-minded individuals. And I really want to let that one settle in. Successful people hung around like-minded individuals and worked with like-minded individuals. One of the things that I've been seeing, and you hear this, your network is your network, your tribe is your vibe, all these different things, but these people that are massively successful, the people that they let into their inner circles, which, number one, their networks are massive, right? One of the things I saw is their networks were absolutely huge and massive, but their inner circles were very small. So their networks were massive, they knew a lot of people, but their inner circles were very small. And the idea of the people that they wanted to work with, or they let in, or they let into their sort of sphere of influence, if you will, were always of like-minded individuals. Had the same personalities, had the same goals, had the same beliefs, were not sort of off message of where they wanted to be. And I think this is just so important for the smaller entrepreneurs. It's very easy to plug into communities and do all these different things and sort of try to make things happen. But the question is, are you surrounding yourselves with the right people? Because you can get caught up in a rut. Are you reaching up? Are you hanging out with people who are just out of your league, 10 times more successful than you? You're not even close to being where they want to be. Are you hanging out with them and learning from them? But then are you also hanging out with the people that are a little bit below you, starting up, so you can see and get reminded of mistakes maybe that sometimes you make, and help them out and be reaching out and helping them? Or are you reaching to the side and working with people around you? So that idea of they surround themselves with like-minded people. And the fourth and final thing is successful people move fast. And I want to kind of springboard this back to what I just talked about on the like-minded individuals. But one of the questions I always get is, how do you get your clients? Where do your clients come from? How do you generate business? This is very often the question I get. There's a few ways, and I wasn't going to speak about that on this, but I think I want to dig into this a little bit now. The first way is just through referrals, right? Usually it's, someone referring me business that I've either worked with in the past, or that I've seen, or that I'm currently working with, they send me someone. The second way is when I'm at events like this, networking and getting to know people and getting to, talk to them about their business, seeing what we're doing, going through a sales cycle process where we have a phone call and then a meeting and then go to a contract and, then start working together. So that's one way. But the third way that I get business, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't take into consideration. The third way I get business is not asking for business. The way I get business the most is not asking for business and just doing. If I meet someone and I believe in their business, before I pitch them, before I tell them I can help their business grow and scale, I send them business. If I believe in their product, if I believe in their message, if they're a speaker, if I believe in whatever they're doing, I try to send them as many clients as I can before I even start talking to them about business, because I believe in what they do. Now, I don't do that to get the business from them. I legitimately do that because I believe in what people are doing. So I'll start referring in a network. If I meet you and I believe in what you're doing, I'll start referring you business right away. And if I think we could work together, I'm going to talk to you about that. But 9 times out of 10, I'm referring you that business because I believe in you, not to get you into a client. And I will tell you, not 9 times out of 10, but 50% of the time, that person that I've referred business to without asking them to be a client becomes a client. And it's such a powerful thing. So many people say, know your value and know what you're worth. And you can see I put this, in the description of the video. There's a big difference between knowing your value and knowing what you should charge. And Hoss Pratt talked about this on stage too at Business Finishing School. And he talked about, knowing your hourly wage and knowing what you're charging. Matt talked about the barter system he does with a lot of people for the different things he does. But, you can know your value, but actually being able to bring people value and being able to show them you can bring them value without asking for $1 is the best way to get clients. That's one of the fastest ways that I've been able to generate business the fastest ways I've been able to generate clientele is just, I've thrown people so much business that they're like, Mike, I don't know what you do, but you're sending me so much business, I have to hire you to manage all the leads you're sending my way. So it's one of those things where I've just done that very organically. And there's also people to this day that I still throw business that I've never asked them to work with them, and they've never asked me to work with them, but I believe in their product or their service or what they're doing, and I'm constantly throwing them business. So look at that idea. A lot of people say, well, you got to know your value in it, and I don't want people to belittle me and not pay enough for me. They don't understand me, and this is really true in I think a lot of the non-finite things, right? If you do what I do in consulting, if you do what I do in sales, I know marketers fall into this all the time. SEO marketers, video editors, videographers. When there's none of these standards and things seem to not have this tangible thing, like no one's handing you a physical product. People want to see to have this, real back and forth on what the value is in that idea, that product. Where I believe sometimes you have to give a little to get a little. And more importantly than that, let me disclaimer this, that's got to work with your financial model, right? One of the people asked what size businesses I work with, and I say, listen, I work with businesses that are growing and scaling because I love startups, but I can't feed my kids equity flakes. I told someone once. So, the idea is I need to work with businesses that are able to pay for my services because I have certain needs and things that I need to do. But then on the same hand, I'm also those businesses that maybe I can't work with or aren't ready to work with me, I do still feed them business because I believe in them, and that's another great way I've generated business. So wasn't really going to go deep into that on this video. Probably should have done a separate one on that, but hey, I'm in Texas, so I got to go big. So it's a big lot when you're in the big state. So what am I doing then, right? So all that being said, all the great stuff I learned from all the great speakers, Tim Story, Ivan Meisner, Hoss Pratt, Matt Monero, Rick Sapio, everything that I learned. I wasn't there for Elena Cardone. I missed it because it was my daughter's birthday, but it was totally worth it. What am I going to do now? How am I going to turn this into action? Well, one of the first things I need to do is a personal thing, right? And as I look at a little bit of the chins here, I got to lose some weight, right? I know some people have been telling me I look great when I see them, but I feel like I got to lose weight, and that's one of the things I really want to start jumping into. So I'm committing to that. I'm not waiting for March 1st. I'm committing to it today because I want to make that happen, and that's just a personal thing. And I feel like if I'm physically healthy, I'll be more able to do the things I want to do. The thing that's been driving me crazy, I've been trying to do too, is join that 5 a.m. club. I got to wake up earlier. It's a struggle for me because I like working a little bit later at night, but I think what I found is the keys to success for all these people that I meet tend to lie on the other side of 6 a.m. So I'm really trying to work into that. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I want to do 30 lives in 30 days. So I am waiting until March 1st to start this. But I really want to do 30 lives in 30 days because I do feel that producing video content is so important. I'm challenging a lot of my clients to do that more so that they can be growing their brand and their products. So I want to be doing that as well. I'm going through some transitions that I want to share with you guys. So I'm hoping to be very raw and transparent with that as well. So that's kind of my plan to put what I've learned into action. Those are the three things that I found both personally and professionally that I think I need to do. Another one is that I didn't put on the list that I just thought of though is I really need to get a little bit better about time blocking in my schedule. I tend not to do that when I'm traveling on a day like this. I don't time block as much as I probably should as I do when I'm in the office. So that's another thing I'm looking at doing. So guys, listen, appreciate you guys tuning in. Also too, if you loved what I said about this conference, if you loved what I said about BFS and it's a conference you think, man, I really like to attend that, click on the Business Finishing School link up top here. I tagged them in the post. The next conference is coming up in September. You could see the speakers they've had in the past. It's just an amazing conference. And more importantly, it gives you the thing that's really needed is access. You get it's only a minute or two, but you could speak to the speaker that was on stage. In most cases, I got to speak to them for a minute or two, and just thank them for their talk, tell them what I thought best, tell them a little bit about my business. They gave me a little bit of feedback and create that relationship. And that's how you grow your network. That's reaching up, guys. That's the ability to reach out. Also, completely forgot. Down below, if you see, I did a post, and there's 6 of you. If 6 of you gave $10 to this cause, it's actually my son's school. One of the teachers is raising money for financial literacy. This is something I hear speakers talk about all the time on stage that we don't teach this enough. So if you're watching this on the replay, please go to my Facebook page for Miss Kandaya. Click the link below. She is doing a fundraiser to buy some financial literacy materials. She only needs to raise $160. Man, if you guys could make that happen today, that would mean so much to me. Give $1, $2, $3, $5, $10, $20. I mean, there's 7, 8 people on right now in this stream. If everybody gave $20 or $10, we'd be more than halfway there, if not done completely. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Make it a great one. Like I said, here in Texas, a little bit bigger of a live, a little bit later. Maybe I'll do a little more dancing, a little bit more. If you guys haven't danced yet and it's Monday, I I encourage you to dance. There was dancing at the convention. I like that. We got to dance. They played some music. They had a DJ at night. So little midday dance. I'm getting ready for my afternoon meetings. I'm here on Central Time. I'm liking it. I'm in Texas. I'm doing it big. Big room. You can see this is not my hotel room. This is the concierge lounge. Big shout out to Marriott, though I was the guest of the day yesterday. They hooked me up with that. So hope everybody has a great one, guys. I agree, Carrie. I'd pay someone too to help me wake up at 5 a.m. Woo! All right, I'm out, guys.